Okay, so hello judges and welcome to Money, the meritocratic opportunities for neglect for equality of the youth. Um, so who we are, the table of contents is who we are. So we're really just explaining what we're gonna do, what our plans are. Our request to the judges, what we'll be asking of you guys, our goals, what we wish to achieve, and our long-term goals, which are our goals expanded, the map, and what the problem that we're going to face is and how we're going to overcome those problems, which is the same as problems and solutions. The sample advertisement, some of the milestones we're going to be going through, which is the timeline, the data and statistics. That's going to be our Google Forms, and solutions, prototypes, conclusion, and question and answers for the end.
All right, so we're a group of people whose purpose is to successfully integrate budding entrepreneurs to the business world. Our main priorities are to aid those in universities around Toronto and to give them the support they need for their small businesses.
So our services will include things such as marketing, aid in the form of commercials and other formats of media. We will also offer business advisory and will network with businesses to give them opportunities in foreign nations to help expand their markets. We aspire to make a reputable name for ourselves, right? Making powerful connections with businesses that we can easily connect with our clients. Of course, we're still new to this type of business, so we will be needing some help, and that is where you judges come in. We'll be needing some financial aid in particular to establish ourselves. We are thinking a request of funding of 30,000 in order to leverage our negotiation strength, as this will allow us to sponsor and form deals with universities and colleges to help put our name out there.
The judges who will provide funding will receive 5% of ownership and up to limit 15% in shares depending on the amount invested.
So in regards to NGN, goals include both number 8, which is promoting inclusive economies, and number 19, which prepares the next generation for a future line of work. Money's goal is to introduce these steps to new startups, businesses, and into new markets, whether it be within or outside the country.
We also plan to set up networking infrastructure in these countries so that new businesses are better settled into their new environments. Alongside this, we also would need to set up workspaces in both that are both physical and virtual in these said countries so that owners can use them and rent them out.
We believe giving enough funding that we can gain enough capital and influence through our brand name and also construct 4 to 5 physical centers within 3 years of starting. As for our yearly profits, it would rely heavily on business packages that we sell to our clients and also rental fees from the virtual and physical facilities.
Expanding on what Gahulan said, our revenue will come from a percentage of money that we earn from deals created between the startups and the major businesses. We will also be gaining revenue from monthly fees that we impose on the startup businesses that use our facilities as well as our services. With the funding and revenue that we gain, we hope to continue producing more facilities and expand our business into other potential nations. We estimate this could be done between 3 and 4 years, given enough funding. Right, so here we have a map of what we would ideally be expanding to. These are our future plans and initiatives to expand into the foreign markets. We included countries that are generally stable, have potential, and or have a good business, have a good ease of doing business index.
Okay, so the main problem we're trying to tackle with money involves the many small business startups that are started by young entrepreneurs right out of universities or those who are still in universities, but ultimately fail for different reasons relating to lack of experience and or funding.
Um, so some milestones that should be accounted accounted for would be the day we propose this loan ask service to a university and reach an agreement.
The next milestone would be successfully gaining our first customer, and a major milestone for the future would be branching out into a different city or province. And following this, ideally, we would call the next milestone when we expand outside of Canada.
We can confidently see ourselves moving into other provinces within hopefully the first year and possibly internationally within the following years after our initial plans. Now, our solution is to provide packaged plans in a yearly subscription where more involved expertise are offered for a higher price than beginner level packages that focus less on involvement but more on advisory. We also take a small percentage of any transactions and revenues made during the training period with which we work with the startups.
Our business will focus on reaching out to universities based in Toronto, such as U of T, Brock, Ryerson, etc., and reaching out to their staff to form cooperatives, which our company staff can work with young entrepreneurs.
So here's a visual of our timeline, beginning with our starting phase, which is expected to take around 6 months. We expect to gain all the necessary funding for starting this project, alongside contacting and reaching out to the different institutions that are interested in partnering and sponsoring with our business to help the students.
The next phase, which is expected to take 1 to 2 months after the beginning, involves us forming more organizations within present facilities to help out students. We'd also like to use this phase to hire more people and expand our workforce.
And the final phase, we aim to expand to more provinces, including Quebec, and help low-income places such as the territories, and of course, aid in making businesses more accessible to the youth.
So through our package plans, we will help young entrepreneurs who lack hands-on experience in running a business and also publicize these small companies to the local business environment, including providing input on smart business choices. We'll also provide different forms of aid in the difficult starting phase in a business and eliminating some stress regarding business financials and marketing.
We conducted a survey over social media with, using stuff such as Instagram, for instance, to contact people that are generally in our age group. And we had around 25 to 30 people answering. And through our results, they showed that most people were between the ages of 16 to 20 and were still in high school. These people were also very interested in running their own business and strongly believed that a small business could benefit from having aid early on, especially with the kind of service that we would provide. We had many people agree that they would use our services if they were to be provided.
From the following survey, we received a few comments, which we will show you, including some support such as, I hope your kids succeed, and nice idea. We also received some questions such as our hours of operations and how we will offer the expertise.
Our group created some alpha version prototypes to illustrate our plans. Here's a prototype of the software that we have in development. For now, it is a mobile app that sets up virtual meetings with our experts and can provide a chat area where customers can ask questions. However, of course, we plan to upgrade our site and our application to provide more features, as well as a better GUI, etc.
Uh, Finally, here are some examples of adverts for our business should we come to fruition.
So, to recap, as a business, our main goal is to act as the middleman, or rather the stepping stone, if you will, for young entrepreneurs wanting to get their feet into the world of business. Our services will initially provide packages that include things such as financial and business advice that can guide people in terms of what they think would be the best course of action for their business. We will also provide facilities constructed in Canada and other countries later on, which can be rented out by these businesses, and with them, they can have a credible name uh, and credibility to use them, meaning like they'll be well established in those said countries. Alongside this, there will also be marketing aid in which we can offer business advertising across different media platforms and social medias.
We will require funding from you, the judges, to do this, though. With $30,000, we can create not only the necessary services we will provide, but also create a name for ourselves and establish credibility, which is a primary factor which can help us succeed. A rough timeline shows that within 3 years, we can set up the groundwork for not only the services within the country, but also in foreign nations.
Our business idea has received praise from the survey that we used to reach out to people, so there clearly is a need for this type of service. We also found that the proper solution to aiding young entrepreneurs is to provide these packaged service aid and facilities to help them grow. The system is very flexible, as at any moment a business could say take a cheaper plan when they see fit, and then later on when they expand, they could take a more uh, expensive plan that provides greater amounts of expertise and aid in their area.
To show off the success of our business idea, we bring you to Toronto Photography, a small photography business that we've helped build from the ground up through our services. Here is Mr. Daniel Gowie, the owner of the business, to give a word.
All right. Hi, judges. I'm Daniel Gowie. I'm the founder of Toronto Photography. I started out my business in 2016, and as a kid, I've always had a hobby in photography, but I never knew how to really take my passion to the next step. Until I met the Meritocratic Youth Program, where I was able to take my idea to the next step by starting a website and getting useful advice from business professionals in setting up my business plan and making connections. And it definitely gave me a big advantage over the competition, as it was easy to get my social media on different platforms such as Facebook, but also provided me with financial advice and really saved me from making some poor decisions on the way. Uh, all in all, I can definitely say that there's a need for this kind of service, and these guys are the real deal.
Thank you, Daniel. So that was one of our past partners, and with your help, I hope we can see our services offered to more and more people around the city. We, the Meritocratic Opportunities Program, have the ability to change and help people for the better of the future. All we need is your support and funding. Thank you for listening.
That's all we have to say. Might the judges have any questions for us?
And please visit our site for more information.
Thank you for the presentation. I have a question. First of all, do you identify yourself as a non-profit or for-profit kind of business that you would like to start? And also, which NGN goal do you align yourself more towards?
Well, generally speaking, this would be a more for-profit business because, I mean, we want to have our own slice of the pie, right?
Mhm.
However, we wouldn't, the business is primarily to help others, but yes, we would be taking some money out of it just so we can keep funding ourselves and
Right.
continuing the business.
Mhm. Nothing
And
wrong with that. And
Mm.
which particular NGN goal you would align yourself to it?
We believe we would align ourselves more with number 19, which would be to prepare the next generation for a future line of work.
Okay, great. And do you have any idea about how you plan to use the $30,000 investment into the business? What will be your priorities?
I can answer that. I think the best way to use our $30,000 investment is for definitely for advertising, get our name out there for universities and any small entrepreneurs who are confused about it, about what to do next. And we definitely use the money to make deals with universities, so we could pay them. We could use the money to maybe put a down payment on physical like the location for meetings, just to start off there, or to use the money for beginning to start our app programming, where we'd set up virtual meetings.
Okay. And one more question is, what is the reason right now that most of the young entrepreneurs and the small businesses are failing what is your take on that, and what's the main thing that you are providing as a differentiating that will make sure that there is a success for them?
So the idea we have is that many people have good ideas and good intentions when they want to start a business. But the thing is, as with young people, they don't really have the experience or the knowledge to properly maintain and run a business. And that's where we would come in as the middleman or the helping hand, you could say, where we sort of act as guides to sort of keep them on track and prevent them from making any mistakes that might cause negative outcomes for their business. And ultimately, what our goal is to see them turn a profit and maintain a successful business.